This week marks the 10-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. The devastating storm caused tremendous damage in Louisiana and Mississippi, destroying hundreds of homes and properties, leaving thousands homeless. News Channel 11's Micah Smith found out 10 years after the water receded, there are still a few people living in our region who came right after the storm. Micah?
Casey, between 2005 and 2006, hundreds of families made their way to Northeast Tennessee and the Southwest Virginia region in hopes of making a fresh start. I went in search of some of those families to find out if any of them were still calling the Tri-Cities home. That search led me to the Moore family. These images of the damage Hurricane Katrina caused in Louisiana and Mississippi were on the TV screens of millions across the country. The storm's far-reaching effects landed a few people right here in the Tri-Cities. And while many made their way back to their home states, others decided to stay.
We moved here without any friends, any family, any jobs, nothing, just on faith.
Brian Moore and his wife Jessica Moore own Little Hoop Boutique and The Nest in Johnson City. For more than a decade, the Moores lived between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Brian Moore says the hurricane caused minor damage to their home, but the storm's aftermath caused the Moores to think long and hard about moving.
We had an infant at the time. There were no diapers or formula or anything like that to be found. If you were to go to Walmart to get groceries, you'd wait outside in line for a couple of hours.
Jessica Moore was born and raised in Louisiana, and leaving was the last thing she says she wanted to do.
But after Hurricane Katrina, we knew that we needed to get out of town.
So the Moores began looking for a new home, and after a friend's suggestion, they decided to visit Johnson City.
We came up for the weekend, we looked at homes, we looked at school systems, just looked at the area overall and just fell in love with it. Couldn't find anything we didn't like.
The first few months were hard. Brian Moore worked 3 jobs for several months before finding more permanent employment. Brian and Jessica Moore both say they miss Louisiana and they visit every chance they get.
It's still a big part of our lives and a big part of our history, so we like to keep that alive in our children's lives too.
But after 10 years in Johnson City and 2 successful businesses, the Moores say Johnson City is the place they now call home. Brian and Jessica Moore say that most of the families that moved here around the same time that they did have decided to go back home to Louisiana. But the Moores say that the few that remain here, their Louisiana roots are strong, but the Tri-Cities region is the place they want to be. Reporting live in Johnson City, Micah Smith, News Channel 11, in your corner.
Micah, thank you very much. Great story there. Vice